Hello and welcome to the Brickfreaks. Today with a big set with power functions and pneumatics from Mould King's 19013, the pneumatic dump truck. It's a stolen mock from Lucio Switch 81 and we have 5768 pieces in here. We have 4 XL motors, 2 servos and 2 L motors. We have 2 pneumatic pumps and 5 pneumatic cylinders, a lot of tubes and cables, an RC. And now you see my assembly takes for each building step, except of the last, because it was only here, the loading ramp. And you see the functions and you see some pictures, and then I tell you if this set is worth its money or if it's not. Okay. Well, this is the building step 1 laying in front of us. We have 2 XL motors already assembled. They go here, each from the gear to the gear in the middle. From there over the long axle to this gear, through 4 other gears, down here to our planet joints. I don't know how these are called, you know what I mean. And from there here to the differential and then to the rims. We have the cardan joints inside are metal versions, so that's really stable, because here we have, in the end of the set, we will have a lot of torque here. And so I'm really happy that they use the metal joints, so we have no problem. The connection of this part and this part to the middle part is not so easy, because the planet joints and the cardan joint together get in correctly in this angle is not easy. I nearly needed 1-2 minutes for each and 1 or 2 tries. So be aware that you need here some time to get the cardan joint properly connected to the middle and the planet joint fully connected, because in the beginning I had a cardan joint connected inside, but the planet joint doesn't work. It was not really connected, and so the whole proportion of everything doesn't fit. So 1 more minute and it was done. Okay, so far very good instructions. Unique building techniques. I haven't seen this technique to get the results, so that's nice to build something totally new. The piece quality is good, and like I said, I'm really happy about the cardan metal joints. The building step 2 is done. You see, it's a lot more of pieces. We have a lot more grown in length and in width, and with the frames here, it's now very stable construction. Here we have Technic beams to give this strength. Then here is the next planetary joint that's coming to here, and yes, really nice, very stable, very secure build. Nice building techniques, and you see here 3 Technic beams here to secure steering. So okay, very powerful. So you'll see how the cable management would works in the next building step, or in the next building steps. These are the new pins from Mould King. So the 2 length and the 3 length pin, that's the dog, somebody's coming. The 2 length pins and the 3 length pins are going easier than in the past. Okay, sorry for the background noises, it's always here. I have a big family and it's not always possible to get a quiet moment. Okay, sorry for that. In the next take I try to make it when I'm home alone. Well, next building step, and you've seen it's grown a lot. Our dump truck. Okay,
here in the last video this was not fixed. Now it's stable. Suspension. The suspension is limited in its movement here by this lift arm. I hope this should be this way. I don't know. And we assembled two more L motors, XL motors for this axle. And here we have two L motors sitting. They are going to here, our pumps for our pneumatic system. We have a 6-cylinder row, and one thing here is two of the axles that are here in this part are a 3.5 length and a 2.8 length carbon axle. So these are for there where the pressure is on the part. I hope it's good, everything is fine. The battery box later on will be connected here. In the original mock we had two battery boxes, one here, one there. Because we are using a 6-way accu box receiver, we don't need this here, the fuel tank, to be covering a second battery box. Okay, nothing special, really so well structured, so well thought, so well done, like I expected from Lucio. This man keeps always the promises. It's a great vehicle at the moment. Really entertaining build. So well done. Great.
Building step 4 and 10 hours. And man, building step 4 was really a lot of pieces, a lot of parts. And you see we got the fourth axle here. And man, this thing here is really crazy. I heard this is Lucio's first. When this is the first, man, wow. The building process is stunning. There are a lot of cool building techniques and technical problems solved, so clever. And it's really, for me, till now, set of the year at the moment. Really, or at least technic set of the year. And only the last part here, you connect the axle and it's swinging, and then you connect the whole front here. You build the front with the connection to the wrench here and everything, and then you slip it in, and that's not easy. Believe me, it was not so that I thought I kill myself, but it was not easy. And I used a tool on the other side to secure one Technic beam so that the pin slips in at the correct pin or at the correct pinhole. And tip, make first here this Technic beams, orientate on them, then look that the axle here from the motor is here in this pinhole, then secure it here with this pin and that pin on the other side, not these, only these two, and then bring it to the other side and connect this here and the suspension, flip it over, and then push in the other pins. So this is the best possible way to do this. And here you have really to look that one of the Technic beams, one of the pins goes into the Technic beam because it's connected here to the pumps, to the pneumatic pumps. And yeah, okay, like I said, it was not easy, but it's an incredible cool build. Okay, so let's go further. But like I said, 4 building steps, 10 hours, and I believe this is 2,500 pieces at least. It's massive. And with all the motors, This has weight. This has weight. Look at the front. Really nicely made. Man, monster. Absolute monster. So, we have 75 centimeter. I believe this wood here, wood piece is 80. And at least 72, 73 centimeters. And at the end, 8 or 9 kilos. With all the motors and the battery box. I think so. Our next building step, you're seeing a lot of pneumatic tubes here, and I stabilized this here, everything a little bit. I brought this section on with 3 of the pneumatic cylinders. They are so they will go out, and we have the function to get up with our dump truck, or you know what I mean. Okay, no problems at all with that building step. What I had one problem earlier. So do you see here the red Technic connectors, the half ones, the Technic beams, the half ones? Okay, in between them they are sitting the pneumatic cylinders, the blue ones, the small blue ones that are filling the pressure for our yellow ones. And one of the heads, I started it, and one of the heads wasn't really glued, and it disconnected with the head. And so I removed this here, used the analog version to steer the motor extremely slow to get to the highest point. Then I could push the cylinder with my finger from underneath. Here I could use my other hand to bring the cylinder and the head together, and then with epoxy, 2 layers of epoxy, I glued it together, let it stand overnight, and now it's working perfectly. So, because one cylinder is in and one is out, it's this way. One goes in, one goes out. And this is the third set I had problems with the head of the pneumatic pump here with the blue one. I already had problems with one of them. So the head, before you assemble each or any part of Mould King from pneumatics, look that the head is really glued into the rest of the cylinder. If not, glue it before you assemble it. Because I had luck that I could remove this here and was able to put this together and make it whole again, because otherwise I had to disassemble everything, build in a new cylinder, and for me it's always horrible to lose a lot of time as a YouTuber. For you, no problem, you can wait a week for a new cylinder. For me it's always a problem. Okay, so check your cylinders, everything here, if they are really glued in, because that's a problem with Mould King. Okay, this here is from the same building step. We're already starting here. This is should be the driver cabin for, normally here is the steering wheel. This is the driver cabin. Okay, everything's fine. Like I said, check this and the rest is no problem. Well, building step 6 brought us here the driver's cabin with 2 doors. Okay, it's not finished at the end at the moment, but not far from finish. And the look from, okay, it's so long, the look from the front. Okay, here it's a little bit stress, or I'm more stressed. You see here? Okay, this must connect. It's hanging here, the driver's cabin, and it has to connect to the axle underneath here. And so you first connect the axle, then the cabin is in this way, and underneath are the both or 2 of the yellow pneumatic. Okay, and then you have them, or to connect the head of them with a pin to the driver's cabin, or not the whole cabin, but the part you have to this time. And that is a little bit, yes, painful. It was manageable, but 2-3 minutes, but I needed really a sharp knife or a small knife to get to hold it with one hand from here and to push from the other. And I'm really happy that the new pins from Mould King slip in much easier. So I didn't have to push hard because I couldn't hold the counterpart because my hands fit in there. So that's a part, it's a little bit painful. Or I don't know if it could be done otherwise, connected earlier or something, I don't know. But this is a part in the instructions I don't like. But okay, I managed it. I hope it will work at the end. We will see. And yes, let's go further. 7, we will here finish the cabin. You see here is missing. And rest of 7, then we start here at the heck to the loading ramp, or what it's called, I don't know. Well, building step 7, we did here our driver cabin, finished it, attached the what is this, emergency case tire, reserve tire, fire distinguisher, exhaust. This is where we connect this here. So okay, half of the load is done. The loading ramp or loading place, I don't know what's it called. This here is big and very light, and yeah, this here, that's good, it's light, so the cylinders have no problem to push it up. I don't know when you put in here serious stuff. We will test it in the radio part. I will test it, how far we can go.
After 20 hours and 9 building steps, it's finished. Our pneumatic dump truck from Mould King and Lucio Switch 81. Thank you, Lucio, for designing this great vehicle. It was a pleasure to build. We are really talented, and I hope a lot of people buy the instructions from you. Link to the set and to Lucio's instructions are in the video description. Okay, we go through. Like I said, 20 hours of building time. Instructions, 300 pages, 302 pages. Good instructions. No mistakes, no obvious mistakes. The whole set has no mistakes. So it's a good instructions. You have always a good side, always a good angle. I had no issues or problem with the instructions. Okay, now I forgot to show you the sticker. I make a photo of it so you see the stickers. Well, you've seen it already because the photos are coming before my part. Okay, I didn't apply the stickers and you don't need them. It's Mould King and some red stripes. It doesn't look good and it don't lift up this set. Okay, so instructions good. Quality of the pieces, great. We have Brickfreaks pieces like mostly from Mould King. No problem at all. The clutch power, the connection, everything's fine. The power functions are working really, really powerful. Everything is good. We have the new pins from Mould King, so the connection is easier, not like in the past when you have 10 or 2 Technic beams with 10 pins. You're really getting mad with the Mould King pins because they are so hard to slip in. Now they are much softer, I would say equal to Lego, so no problem with the pins. It was really enjoyable to build. We have some 2 metal joints and we have 3 carbon axles parts, so everything's fine from the pieces, except one thing, the pneumatics. This is the third set. I had problems with the pneumatic from Mould King. Last time it was the pneumatic cylinder here, one of the yellow ones. This time it was one of the pneumatic pumps. They are sitting underneath here, 2 of them. And like I said in the assembly part, I assembled them, hit power, and it starts. And the metal part and the connection with the pinhole disconnected because it wasn't glued correctly. So I have had the luck to open this here up, remove the motor, and with some small tools I could connect the pin head and the metal part that moves in and out to bring together again. Then I brought it in the nearest position and used some epoxy to glue it around. Now it's working. But this is the third time that one of the head pump or cylinder removes easily from the metal. So before you assemble the pneumatic parts, look at the pin connection that moves away, and the metal part is really good glued or connected, because that was luck that I could repair this when it's already assembled. Normally I had to take everything apart. When it happens here, no problem. Pick up this here, glue it. But when it's happened here with the cylinders or with the pump, you have a problem. And the thing we all hate is disassemble Lego Technic or Technic. It doesn't matter from who, because through the pins and the axle, it's always a little pain in the, yes. Okay, one thing I think I have one mistake. Oh no, now it's good. From my position, it looks always that it's a Frank video, so we have to remove some parts. Okay, from my angle or perspective, it looks always a little bit odd, but I think it's straight up. Okay, so instructions good, piece quality very good. Only the heads of the cylinders or pumps, please check it. The assembly process, great. The first 4 building steps took a little bit longer, around 2.5 hours each building step at least, sometimes 3, because there's all the motors, all the gears, everything underneath here. So that took a little bit time. From the 5th and 6th building step, you get faster. Then you could build the cabin here around and then here at the end this here. So be aware of the first, especially the first 2 building steps, took 2.5, 3 hours. Now, it's not many parts, but it takes some time. Okay, suspension, you've seen it in the assembly. Here we have 4 full suspensions, and here it's not a suspension, it bends a little bit, but okay, no problem. Here the suspension is more for the joint here, not really for the cabin, it's more for the driving gear. Lucio, the original MOG, has 2 accu boxes, 2 receiver boxes, one here. Mould King changed it a little bit, let one servo motor away and used the 6-way accu box, so no problem. It's no different. When you're using here the pneumatics, you have to use these switches here. And with the Lucio switch version, you can change between the pneumatic version functions with the servo motor. So for me, that's no problem to use my hands. I can use my hands. And in real, sometimes the drivers go out and use the pneumatic with their hands. So it's more realistic in this way. Okay, but I think you want to know how big this set is. We have 5.5 kilograms, around 5,500 grams, a little bit more. We have 76.5 centimeters in length. On the antenna, I know it from the German version, we have exactly 40 centimeters. We have here at the loading part 23.5 centimeters. And when we put up this here to the highest position, we have 65 centimeters. So this is really a big behemoth set. Okay, again, instructions good, piece quality good, assembly great. Only 3 parts that I didn't like, I came later to this. We have 4 XL motors for the driving, and they are on A and C. So both of the analog sticks are driving forward, or you need to drive forward. So Mould King used here the Technic beam, and you can use it with a single finger or with 2. And the same with the steering. You can do it with 1 finger or with both, but it works. When you hear noises in the background, that's my dog. So that's a little bit unusual, but I think the way Mould King managed this is really okay with this here. For me, that's better than the Carter version with the steering wheel attached to this here. I think that's really stupid, but this here is a clever solution. And here with the head buttons, one is here for the wrench, and the other is the pneumatic motor. The pneumatic motor has a little click sound, cause perhaps that's cause I glued it with epoxy. Perhaps it's a little bit pushing the other parts, but it works, so everything fine. And I don't show it to you, the functions here, because it take a lot of time and I have to do it in German and English, and it's loud. So I did it with music and the short version in close up. So that's the reason you don't see it here, me handling with this thing. Because when you do it 2 times, the battery is done and the noise of the motor for the pneumatic is a little bit annoying. Okay, functions. We can open the doors on both sides, no problem. With the pneumatics, we can move the driver cabin forward and back. The steering wheel is attached to the steering. It really, when you steer, it goes with you. We have here a 6-cylinder row engine motor that's attached to the driving function. So when you drive, the pistons go up and down. Everything works really great. To this here I came later. Functions, driving, steering, and putting this here up and down, and the wrench here. And when you see here, this only moves when something is in. So you've seen it with the dog food. My dog didn't like that shot, but he did the food. He get the food anyway. Okay, so we have some functions. They are working properly. You need some time because we have no air tank. So the pumps are going directly to the cylinder, and it took some time. So and that's the reason I didn't show it to you here. The functions, this is working probably good. The back function is fast because gravity and under pressure are getting this back. Here, sometimes it don't lift up without some help. The first 2 times I did it, perhaps the motor was a little bit, or the battery was down. I needed a little bit help, with a little help of my friends. And then it really goes up. It goes a little bit like this here. It moves a little bit. It's a little bit wobbly because it's a lot of weight and here's only air pressure. I had preferred actuators with power functions. For me, I like more power functions than pneumatic. I don't like the pneumatics because they are loud and they took time, and yes, I like motors and actuators. Okay, so you need some time here, and perhaps you need a little push. Sometimes it works with push, sometimes it works without push. So, okay, there's another German YouTuber, I put the link in the video description. He shows the functions during the video, because he do it only in one language and he's not so annoyed from the sound. I put a link in the description. It's German, but you see in between the beginning and the end all the functions again from him. It's Rene. It's a nice and lovely good guy. Okay, so like I said, instructions good, assembly good, piece quality good, functions all working. Does this set have a flaw? Yes, 2. There are 3 parts where it's not easy to assemble it. I said it in the assembly part videos, but for all you who are only watching the review, when you connect this here, it's not a whole driver cabin, it's only the floor and the steering wheel and so on, and the mechanism for the steering wheel. When you attach this, you connect the cardan joint to the axle that's coming from underneath the vehicle. Connect it, and then this here is totally free. And then you have it to connect it to our pneumatic cylinders. And okay, this here is not there, but here is not much room to push the pin. And the pneumatic cylinder has really to go far as much, and the pin, you have to bend it a little bit to to this side, to get it slip in. That was a little bit annoying. It's manageable, 3 to 5 minutes, but it's not really a good building experience. Next thing is here with the planetary cardan joints. I don't know the real name. To connect them, it's not easy because the axle and the angle and everything has to be correct. That's not easy. It's manageable, 2-3 minutes. And for me, a flaw is here. The pneumatic tubes are going over the 6-cylinder row motor. And when this here is down, it pushes the tubes together. It works. You see it's still some pressure here on the system. Now it's better. It works, no problem, but I believe it can be a problem. With time and this here always go down to the tube, perhaps the tube gets damages and you have an air loss. So better solution is to get the pneumatic tubes under the motor to the receiver there, or to the thing that connects it to the others. Okay. So that's everything. Everything works. This is really one of the 5 best sets I had this year here on my table. I really like it. Lucio, you're really great. Sorry that Mould King is always stealing from you. But reach me out if you watch this video. Reach me out because I knew some people from Mould King. Perhaps we can bring you together so that you're getting money for your mogs. Okay, that was it. Everything's fine. It's a cool set. For me, the best Technic set this year and one of the 5 best sets overall this year. I like this more than the Pneumatic tow truck, because the Pneumatic tow truck was too heavy, was too big, had too much issues. This here is much better. It's big, it's impressive, it's working, and it makes a lot of fun to assemble. Really, really cool set. And the new, or this RC and the 6-way accu box are always great to have. Okay, that was it. Next set from me is the Sanctum Sanctorium from Mould King with LED lights. It's a bigger version, a full modular building like the small play set from Lego, in a full modular with 3,500 pieces in LED. Sorry. And the next set from Gregor is from Funhole, their Christmas set with LED and minifix. Yes, I was really surprised that Funhole has minifix. And after Sanctum Sanctorium, I have the Mustang Hoonigan from Ken Block with power functions laying in the next room. So I'm really hot for this. So thank you for watching. I'm Frank, your Brick Freak, and I catch you in the next one. Bye bye.